Second loaf ever. I think it's looking good. First thing I'm gonna do is add 100 grams of sourdough starter into the bowl. He's thick. Then I'm gonna mix in 1.5 cups of water. Room temperature is best. Now I got the starter and the water all mixed up. It's frothy. I'm gonna add in 500 grams of bread flour. And mix it up. And actually some people use their hands, and that's okay, you can do that. Just like that, now cover it, let it rest for 30 minutes. Now that it's been 30 minutes, I'm gonna add about 1/2 tablespoon of salt. I always use Himalayan pink salt. I'm just gonna sprinkle it over. Splash of water, not a whole lot, and just fold it over itself to kind of mix it up. Now the salt's mixed in, I'm just gonna cover it, let it rest for 30 more minutes. Now that it's been 30 more minutes, I'm gonna do some stretch and folds. You wanna dampen your hands because it helps make the dough not stick. And just think of your dough as a square and take one corner, stretch it up, don't do it forcibly. You just kinda want it to stretch on its own and fold it over itself. Turn it 1/4 of the way, do the same thing. Stretch it up, fold it over itself. Turn your bowl, stretch it up, fold it on itself. Last time, stretch it up, fold it over itself. Then I like to reshape it a little bit because I feel like it has a bit of a memory. I'm gonna cover it again for another 30 minutes and come back and do the same thing. Another 30 minutes have passed, so I'm gonna do another set of stretch and folds. Don't rip it. Now that set of stretch and folds is finished, I'm gonna cover it again for another 30 minutes, come back and do a coil fold. Now that it's been another 30 minutes, I'm gonna do a coil stretch. That's just scooping your hands up under the middle. So again, get your hands kind of damp because it does help not stick to them. So just take your hands and go up straight through the center and let your edges fall. And fold it over itself. Turn your bowl. Do the same thing. You want it to fall and stretch itself, not so much doing it for it. So this is very strong, and I'm just gonna cover it and let it do a balk rise, which I'm just gonna let it sit on the counter right here in the bowl like this for about maybe 4 hours. Now that it's been 4 hours, it has doubled in size. Now I'm gonna shape my sourdough loaf. Now I'm just gonna stretch it out just a little bit. I'm gonna fold it over itself. Fold the other side over itself like that. Turn it, take this in, fold it over itself like this. Turn it all the way around. Flip it over, cup your hands kinda. And just pull it toward yourself. This is gonna tighten it up. Don't do it so much you're gonna rip it. Just enough to tighten it up and make a smooth top. And that's how it looks. Now I'm gonna put it back in the bowl. Cover it back up, and I'm gonna reshape it one more time in 20 minutes. And after 20 more minutes, I'm gonna shape it one more time. Now I've got it shaping for the second time. That's how it looks. Now I've got a bowl with a towel and lightly floured. I'm gonna cover it up with some plastic. I'm gonna stick it in the refrigerator for a bulk ferment for about 15, 24 hours maybe. I don't know. We'll see. It's been 18 hours and I believe my loaf is ready to bake. And the way to tell is if you stick your finger in it like this, if that slowly comes back, you're good to bake. If it springs back real quick, you need to keep it in the fridge probably a little longer. And if it doesn't come back, probably overproofed. But he's looking good. So now I'm gonna sprinkle some more flour, turn it out. Now time to score. I'm gonna use an X-Acto knife. I do dip it in a little bit of water. And then I'm gonna make a half moon shape. Experiment. Now I'm gonna bake it at 450 degrees for 25 minutes, remove the lid, and bake it for another 25 minutes. Now my second loaf ever is finished. And this is what it looks like. I think it looks good. I do need to work on my scoring. I bet it was the tool I used. So now I'm just gonna let it cool before I cut it. Ready? 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 I think it's beautiful. And just like that, I've got sourdough bread.